Hey, what do you say? This is Bobby Blitz from Overkill coming at you on skullbanger.net.
Make it.
Mr. Nervous.
Yes, Mr. Nervous. But hello there, guys. This is TJ for skullbanger.net. I'm here with Bobby Blitz Ellsworth from Overkill.
Hey, what do you say?
Nice gentleman there.
Good to be here, TJ.
Hey, thank you, Bobby.
Southern hospitality.
Yes, yes. But well, Bobby, most people know who you are already. So introductions aside, what you just did, thank you. But dude, it's been 30 years since you've been here doing a proper tour of Finland. I know you've done some festivals, things like that, but for a proper tour, it's been 30 years.
First time, yeah. This is actually our first time, and the band's been around touring since actually 84 or so. We were signed, 85, 86 we started touring. So let's say the band's been in existence for a 30-year period, but we've never done a proper headlining finished tour.
Cool, cool. So what brought that about? Was the stars aligned just right, or was there just something?
It was a simple business decision. We actually signed with management last July. We were self-managed from the mid-90s on until last July. And this guy works with a big agency out of Finland. Okay. And that agency is Silke.
Okay.
So as he's a partner of that, he said, "I'm going to set up your first Finnish tour." And we said, "Yeah, what the hell?"
Hey,
that's
awesome.
how easy it was.
Well, very
because
cool.
we haven't been here
Sure.
to present ourselves as we like to in a headline situation. So we thought it was a good opportunity.
Awesome.
So we jumped on it.
Yeah. Well, I know this is only your second show so far, but it's been like for you. I mean, where'd you play last night?
Fucking awful.
Oh, yeah. There you go, guys. There you go. Heard it here first.
Tampere.
Yes.
And, right, so that was our first show last night. And first one to get it under the belt is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the idea. We haven't played since February together as a group. So to go out there and do it and get through the show and feel, that everybody out in that audience had a big heart, that always makes it happen for us.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's talk about your new album, The Electric Age. Okay. Now, if my research is correct, it's your highest charting album in America. Is that correct?
I think we've charted higher.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think. We haven't charted since '94.
Okay. All right.
So we're in the top 100 anyway.
Well, that's
we haven't
good.
charted. And this came in somewhere in the 70s.
Okay.
It's not our biggest seller. Charts have changed since the early days. We were charting at times when it was vinyl. That's how all it was.
Yeah.
Nobody was buying CDs at that time. I'm not 100% sure if it's the highest charting record, but it, for sure the highest charting record since '94.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I have to say, it's very strong. You haven't lost a step at all. And, that's kind of, sometimes bands that's been around a long time, I understand you grow older, sometimes, sometimes the business can wax and wanes a little bit for you.
Well, we paid young kids to do our parts. that's how it works. That ain't us.
Are you sure you want us to go on there?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
But well, I think it's a really strong album. But how do you think it ranks with your other ones? Do you think it's the best thing you've ever done, or?
I've always, we've been around so long that I think it's unfair to compare the new ones
Sure.
to anything in the past. I think it's just dishonest.
Yeah.
Is it exciting? Of course.
Yeah.
Do we leave the studio with a feeling of success? Of course we did. Did we achieve what we wanted to? Yes, we did on this record. I think it's got teeth.
Yeah.
I think it has less dimension than the record prior to it, which is called Ironbound. I think Ironbound is more of a multi-dimensional record.
Sure.
This is more of a two-dimensional record.
Right.
I think this is really forceful and in-your-face type of thing with less deviation, let's say, from our forceful norm.
Okay.
But I still think it comes across as a great piece of work.
Sure.
And you can tell that. You feel it inside yourself. I don't think a guy, whether it be somebody in Overkill or whether it be somebody in a band that's in this genre or any other genre, whether it be classical, rock and roll, or pop, ever leaves the studio thinking they failed.
Right.
You don't. You think that you've gained success. But how long does that feeling last after you've left the studio.
Right.
And I think that the electric gauge still feels that way to me. So
That's good.
sure, it's up there, but I don't know where it ranks amongst.
Sure. Well, now I've got some songs on the album that I think I like. I like Drop the Hammer Down. To me, I really like that song. Just how you sing in it and all that. As long as I'm not dropping any hammers on my toes. But do you have some personal favorites yourself on the album, or?
Yeah, I'm very partial to Electric Rattlesnake. It came to me in probably, if the song is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, I think it took me to write my end of it about 12 minutes. Well, because sometimes it just works like that.
It does.
Sometimes it just comes and you go, wow, listen to that riff.
Yeah.
And once I started, it worked out really well. And we were messing around with the concept of electricity for the record. So I had actually sent Dee Dee titles, and one of the titles said electric therapy, or electrocution therapy. And the electric gauge came out of that, and I said, it needs a companion song to the title, and that's where Electric Rattlesnake came from. But it was really it's really kind of a simple process. There's not some really in-depth thinking with regard to, I poke fun a little bit at the religious right in there, and really talk about the band's power through plugging in. And sometimes it's better just to be simplified as opposed to complicated. So that's the whole electric rattlesnake concept. One of my favorites is that. I really like Black Days. It sounds like Deep Purple on steroids to me. And I'm partial also to the closer called Good Night. Love the fact that Dee Dee has that awesome bass intro to it. It almost sounds like an acoustic guitar.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Is it the bass?
Yeah, it's bass
wow.
guitar, yeah.
Well, I was going to talk about Good Night because I think, it really stands out. The intro makes it stand out from all the other songs, obviously, on the album. Now, you can send royalty checks to me on this idea.
Okay, sure.
Now.
Well, wait, I have to hear the idea.
Well, I think it's mint. I think it's mint. How about an Overkill Renaissance album? You can get you a troubadour hat and a mandolin. Blackmore's Night, man. Blackmore's Night it's very successful. I could see you doing Overkill's Night. No, I'm just joking. Playing a little mandolin, troubadour hat.
Maybe an accordion.
Don't commit career suicide. But no, seriously, on that song, though, I was really impressed with the intro, and I can't believe it's a bass. I thought it was an actual guitar. Okay.
Well, he messes around with his tones all the time,
Yeah.
and that's the idea. I think he uses 8-string on it.
Okay.
So, just picks it like so. Picks it like you would be picking a classic guitar. So it's so he had some really unique tones to it.
Wow.
It set up the that feeling of contrast.
Right.
Between that almost acoustic feeling number into that.
Well,
blaster.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, talk to you a minute about being a singer. I've always been impressed by your voice. Very unique. And as I listen from the earlier albums to your newer albums, man, your voice seems even like really strong, even more so than the earlier albums. Do you do any special like do re mi's or what do? You do like some special stuff, or do you just sing? I know some singers like Bruce Dickinson said, if you can sing, you can sing. You don't have to do anything special. And then there's other singers that try to.
Yeah, I suppose singing is if it's 50% physical and talent, the other 50% is believing you can do it.
Right.
And for me, part of that belief comes in a routine where I do re mi for about a half hour before every show. But I usually do it with a Heineken in my hand, which is like
go take a drink.
So it actually is counterproductive. But in my head, it kind of works.
Okay.
And I've always thought of myself as an on-off guy. It's like you have a switch somewhere somebody put in, it's on, it's on. Mm-hmm. And I don't worry about it. I mean, that's kind of the main thing. I mean, there's a lot of guys with great voices that worry about them and lose them.
Sure.
Through worried about them. I mean, stress is like it's the big killer of the voice.
Yeah.
And I think probably earlier on when I was, when I was learning this or falling into this process, that, I would worry about it and I would lose it. But I was more of a pure singer then. I mean, it was more of I've developed a technique, and that technique works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. And it can be irritating as fuck. I know that. Nails on a chalkboard.
Oh!
Somebody told me once you sound like Mickey Mouse on speed.
Oh shit! Was that a compliment or an insult?
I don't know. Somewhere in there is a little of both. I suppose.
Okay,
but the idea is that whatever works, go with it. And
Yeah.
and for me, I found a routine, and I just have kept it for years.
Okay, well, very cool, very cool. Well, I wrote in a side note there, but going back to your album a little bit, obviously your fans expect a certain thing when they hear Overkill. I'm honest. But you personally, when you go in to do an album, is there a certain thing that you strive for when you record an album, write songs? Is there certain success or certain things that you hope the fans get from your albums as they listen to them?
Well, we never overthink it. I have this great story about a conversation Dee Dee and I were having. We were doing a European festival, and we were getting ready to do the Electric Age. We didn't know what it was going to be called. And to some degree, in my head, I didn't know what direction it was going in. We were having coffee across the table like this. Like two Jersey guys, stirring the coffee and looking out going, who's going to fuck us today?
Oh.
That kind of thing, right? And I said, so what do you think? He goes, what do I think about what? I said, well, the new material. He goes, Jesus Christ, we're not going to reinvent the fucking wheel, are we? I said, isn't that really the way it is?
Yeah.
So if we went in there thinking what we know what we are, I think it's probably always the best approach for us.
Sure.
We don't look at things from an artist's point of view. Oh, I'm open to the world and all the wonder it has. It's
Right.
not that. We look through a very small fucking window,
Right.
and we know what we do and we know what we are. And I think that's where we get our results from. Is,
Sure.
It's really the antithesis of an artist. It's more of the the workman, the blue collar approach.
Yeah.
We're happy with our tools on. We
Right.
know that we can run through walls if we do it together.
Awesome.
So,
Destruction crew.
if you think of it that way, I think that you're going in. What's your plan? What we did before.
Yeah, exactly.
Run through that fucking wall.
Awesome. All right. Well, here's a Testament question here. Now, you just recently toured with Testament, your
Sure.
fellow thrashers. Now, I could be wrong here, but is this the first time you've toured with them in a long while? I know they toured with you in the past.
In the early days,
Yeah.
in the I think it was '88. They might have been at practice and we were under the influence.
Okay. And how's that been? How was that?
Oh, it's cool. We were cut from the same cloth.
Sure.
They're it's kind of like, all that whole thrash '80s thing. They're all like cousins. We're all cousins to each
Yeah.
other to some degree. New York guys are a little bit more brash. The Jersey guys and the West Coast guys are a little bit more welcoming in a California
Yeah.
type way, and where they're nice, great guys. You knew it was going to be successful. I think regardless of difference in personality, we have the same goal, and that same goal is to present perfection.
Yeah.
And what we've honed over so many years.
Yeah.
So
Pay no attention to that man.
He's just some random dude off the street I'm talking to.
I like that walkthrough like that.
Yeah, don't pay attention to him.
But I think the idea is that if you're going in with the same principle,
Yeah.
even though, and we grew up really in the same genre, you're going to get great results. And,
Yeah.
in this day and age, a great package is a great thing.
Mhm.
So it made the tour, for as long as it did last for us,
Yeah.
really fantastic.
Awesome. I know you got. Did you get a cold or something?
No, it was, I got pneumonia.
Yeah. Okay.
And they thought it was what's called walking pneumonia. And walking pneumonia is unfull lungs, where you, but it was real pneumonia. And it had gone all the way up to the top and filled me. And actually 6 guys got it. Yeah. But I was the one that ended up being the predecessor to cancellation for the tour.
Oh.
I was laying on the sidewalk in Buffalo, New York, with frozen snot coming out of my mouth. And somebody's going, do you think we should call an ambulance? I'm like moving one finger for yes, Yeah, let's call a fucking ambulance.
Nice.
So it was pretty heavy. And then a couple other guys went down right after that. But it hit me first, ran through this bus. I heard the Flotsam guys got sick after that, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Plague.
It was a virus.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk about the new age of music. I know people's talked about this probably a lot, but obviously now it's not like it was in the '80s. It just seems like so many things are so well connected now, and you don't really have MTV playing a factor. Thank God, I guess. I guess you can say now, but I guess what I'm trying to lead to here. Do you find you were in the '80s? Obviously, you did your promotional videos then. The '90s came along, and a lot of I don't know how it affected you, but I know a lot of the metal bands, it was kind of a lean time. And now we have the internet. Do you find that you have like a stronger new fans now, or do you find a stronger fan base that's connected through that? Has it helped you as far as just I guess gaining new people.
Well, it's fantastic that information is instantaneous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you do something, I mean, you're in the studio and you do certain tracks, it is, and you mix that song, it can be, this is really irritating. Excuse me.
That's okay.
Sorry, kids, I'm back. If you do with instant information, it's really important that you use it and use it to its fullest. And this is one of the biggest things that is obviously different between now and then. And then promotion was different. It created a buzz differently. I think one of the things that has helped in later day, or today, is that it's helped to incorporate younger fans, because there's younger bands playing this stuff. And I think that that's where the growth comes from. Growth has got to come from somewhere. That's what's keeping this around, because if you think of it as what it would only dissipate. You know, people would just start moving away from it. But as people move away, people come in. And I think that that's really the important factor to keeping this kind of vital. You know, I mean, you know, it's great to say, oh, they were the good old days. You know something? Fuck the good old days. Work on today. Who wants to be known for what they were? You want to be known for what you are. You know, and that's, you know, that's what I'm probably most proud of, is the fact that we still are viable 2013, 30 years after we first started playing notes together.
And see, I told you I was from Tennessee. I come from a very, very small town called Jamestown. You know, and obviously country music is the thing there. You know, heavy metal with them.
Country and western, right?
Well, maybe. But you know, now kids in Jamestown. When I grew up, I never heard of some Jersey band called Overkill. You know, I heard of Maiden and Priest. You know, they got there, but now it seems like even in Jamestown, you're going to have you can have metal fans there.
Of course.
And, so I didn't know how well it kind of helped bring in new listeners, and I'm assuming I'm out of time.
No, go ahead. A few more. We got a few minutes, right?
If you up for it?
Sure. You have a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have a seat. Don't stand there like,
Come on.
relax. This is easy. The party starts in 5 minutes.
I'll hurry then.
Okay.
Okay.
But I get you. I mean, it's, you know, what happened in the 80s where Overkill was invisible in Jamestown. Were visible, or can be. And so is this genre. So is it for other bands that like were cut from this cloth. So, or new bands, you know, the Lost Societies, the Gamma Bombs, the Suicidal Angels, you know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty of the modern day. And so, I mean, embrace it, you know. I think if a guy lives into what it was, the guy stays where it was. So go live there, you know. I mean, if you can embrace today, I think that you have the opportunity to succeed today. And I think that's been one of our principles, and probably one of the keys to whatever success we have.
Okay. All right. Well, I got a fan question here. Actually, a fellow New Jersey guy. He's in a band there called Midnight Hellion. I don't even know if you've heard of him or not, but his name's Drew Rizzo. Got a question here for you.
I know Drew.
Do you know Drew?
Sure I do.
He's getting ready to call you out. Don't kill the messenger.
He always is.
Don't
This kid
kill
has always got, he's like he should just have his own fucking talk show.
He said,
He's always got something in there where it's like, it's always a problem with Drew.
Well,
I like him very much, don't get me wrong.
Drew, buddy, I told you I was going. It's on you.
I know where this is going. I think I even know this question, because he asked me this question on the
Do
internet.
it. What is it?
Is this about how the European fans get a better set list than the American fans?
Yeah.
I saw this on the internet, and it really was, it's never done that way. What we had done on the last European tour was throw in a couple of other songs, and Drew is like a really, he's an old school rooted guy. He's an historian. And a good one. I mean, don't get me wrong. He knows not just us. He knows stuff. I mean, you ask him about Forbidden, Drew knows. You know, you ask him about Hellstar, Drew probably knows. And we went out on the European tour after doing an American tour. We decided we were a little bit sick of playing certain songs we did, and we threw in some old ones just as a hey, how you doing kind of thing. And we did something from the years of UK called Who Tends the Fire, and it was kind of a classic song, but nothing we really played live. And Drew I know he's dying to hear this song live. So we did it on the European tour. The European tour ended, and then we got the Testament tour. But the Testament tour, our time was cut from an hour and a half to 45 minutes. So we weren't going to throw obscure songs in a 45-minute set with regard to markets we had not been to for the Electric Age. We were going to do the Electric Age, we were going to do Ironbound, no be happy with what you are as opposed to what you were, like I just said. And I think the idea is that when we have the opportunity to do a full headline set next time through, we will interchange songs.
Okay.
And we've done it in the past in the U.S. where we'll just throw something in that's obscure, but we don't turn the whole set upside down. It's one or two inserts. But I saw this on our website, and I was ready to answer like this, you motherfucker.
Drew, you got it right
Drew,
here.
I love you. I'm only kidding with you.
Well, Bobby, let's wrap it up, man. I know we got some other people we're need to do an interview, but if you got anything left to say, go ahead and say it, and we'll cut it.
Hey, good to be on the site talking to a guy from the States.
Thanks, Bobby.
Transported from Jamestown, Tennessee to Helsinki, Finland. This is TJ. I'm Bobby Blitz from Overkill. You stay where you are. You're watching the right fucking website.
Thanks.